and welcome to Life in Envelopes. I am Jennifer Bleecher. This channel is all about planning, budgeting, paying off debt, and my very exciting journey from full-time teacher to full-time Etsy shop owner and YouTuber. So if that is something that you would like to see, then please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you along on this journey. Today I'm going to do a setup for my July budget, and I'm also going to do a check-in for the first week of July. I'm going to be using the Budget by Paycheck Workbook by the Budget Mom, as well as a Plum Paper notebook from Plum Paper. If you have never ordered from Plum Paper before, I can get you 10% off your first purchase with them. The only thing is you have to email me before you give your email to the company. If you give your email to the company before talking to me, I can't give you the 10% off. They only give it to me if it's a brand new email address. So if you're interested in that, you can email me at jbleecher@gmail.com. Today I am going to be using these category stickers from my friend Cara Jo Plans. There is a link to her Etsy shop below, as well as a discount code for all of my YouTube viewers. I also will be using stickers from my Etsy shop, Life in Envelopes, and I also have a link to that down below, as well as a discount code for all of my YouTube viewers. So I'm going to be using the monthly spread for the Budget by Paycheck Workbook. So it comes in 3 pieces like this. It's just one cost for all 3 pieces. I am also going to be using the Budget by Paycheck Thick Washi add-on. This is an optional piece that you can add on to your kit. And then as far as the notebook goes, I only need 2 things this month. I need my weekly check-in and 1 sinking funds. I'm only going to be doing 1 sinking funds from now on. So I'm only going to do it once a month because we're going to be getting paid on the 1st going forward. So, okay, so we'll get into all that. Okay, whenever I start a new month, I do like to share the month's quote with you, and this month's quote is, "The most important thing is that you are proud of the change you have brought into your life." I always feel like her quotes are so applicable to what I'm going through in those months. Okay, so we are going to get this part, the month set up in just a minute, but let's just go ahead and start with this week's purchases. It's a little bit messy because I forgot to put gas up here, so I had to add it down here. But the way I do it is I use 1 page per week to track my weekly expenses, and then I color code it by category, and then I have a category key down here where I have the total of each category, so I can see how much I spent in each category. Normally, I don't like to see a lot of blues or a lot of yellows. This week is an exception. We had David's birthday, we had company for the first time in over a year, and I did boost my miscellaneous budget to cover those expenses. So let's take a closer look at what I spent my money on this month, but first let me get the whole spread set up, and then we'll go through each item that I purchased this week. I have the calendar all set up, and I put my key on the side here. So let's start with bills. So State Farm came out this week, and it was $158. That is to insure 2 vehicles, and I think we have a little extra house stuff as well on there. Then let's move on to debt. We paid our mortgage this week. Our mortgage is $1,317. This is for, wait, is that right? Now we were budgeting $1,337 and now it's $1,317. I think our taxes went down, or property taxes went down, something like that. So we have a lower payment now. So this is for a 4-bed, 3-bath house in Iowa. Okay, I had a student loan payment come out as well for $40. We have an agreement with our student loan company to pay $40 a month for the next 12 months, and that was based on my current Etsy and YouTube income. Okay, moving on to food. We had a couple of fast food stops on the 28th, which was Monday. I guess I was feeling a little overwhelmed on Monday. So I had breakfast, which was $9. I had that out, and I also ate lunch out with Logan, and that was $23. Then we had 2 grocery trips this week. You may have noticed I've taken out the house category. I've decided just to combine our food and house category all together because it's usually purchased at the same time at the same stores and it's hard to separate it. So I'm just going to put it all together. So this is for food and house expenses. So we spent $95 at Sam's Club this week, and we spent $110 at Fairway. Okay, we also filled up the tank at Sam's Club and we spent $40 on that. Okay, that was for gas. For miscellaneous, so we have a lot of miscellaneous expenses. I had a trip to Target, and I actually shared what I got in last week's vlog that came out yesterday. So if you're interested to see what I got from Target, you can go check out that vlog. David wanted, so on David's birthday, so the Thursday was David's birthday. He wanted to get his hair cut, and that cost $28. We got him an ice cream cake from Dairy Queen, and that was $28. I'm running out of space, so I'm going to go ahead and move over here to the second, even though these expenses come out on the first. So we got him an ice cream cake. For his birthday and my birthday, we both get new shoes, and my birthday's on the 24th, so we went ahead and went to the shoe store and got our new shoes on that day. We spent a total of $361. It's important to us that we have good, strong, supportive shoes because we both have foot issues, and he works on his feet. I used to work on my feet, but I still have major foot issues, so we make sure that we get good shoes once a year on our birthdays. And then I also, on the 2nd, I went to Hy-Vee and I picked up some extra goodies for our house guests, for us and our house guests while they were here. So I put that as a miscellaneous expense instead of a food expense because I upped our miscellaneous budget this week to cover extra expenses for birthday and that visit. So that's why it's there. We did not have any medical expenses this week. And I did take out money for sinking funds and cash envelopes, totaling $400. Okay, so those were all of our purchases this week. Let's take a look at the budget and see how we did in reality versus what we budgeted. Okay, starting with income, we had a rollover amount of $1,106. That was the actual rollover amount. We budgeted that David would be paid $1,842, and he was. And for life and envelopes, we budgeted that I'd be paid $1,000. I was actually paid $1,641. It was a very good month for us. Thanks to you guys. Thank you so much. So let me add this together and see what we were actually paid for this week. That's $45.89, and I'm going to double check my math and make sure I did everything right. $45.89. Okay, so starting next month in August, this will be our only income. We will only get paid the first week of the month, and then we'll have to make that last all month long. Luckily this month we have this, plus we have one more paycheck coming from my teaching job. We have one more paycheck coming for that. So luckily we are going to get some extra money this month, but going forward, this is what we're going to have to work with each month. Okay, so our mortgage came out, let's see, it was less than $1,337, it was $1,317. State Farm, we budgeted $155, it was actually $158. So State Farm was a little more and mortgage was less. Student loans, we budgeted $40 and it was actually $40. Okay, so let's see how much that was in reality. $1,317 plus $158, plus $40, that came to $1,515. Okay, so $45.89 minus $15.15 brings us to $3,074. Okay, so I'm going to bring that amount down here, $3,074. So these are my variable expenses, and I like to take a closer look at those in the notebook. So let's do that first, and then we'll come back to this, this category. I'm going to get the numbers from the notebook, from my expense tracker, from this key right here on the expense tracker. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is set up my notebook for the month of July. I only need to set up my weekly check-in and my sinking funds. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done first. The reason why I'm not doing debt snowball anymore is because that's not our focus at this point in time. Once the business stabilizes a little bit, then we will get back to our debt snowball. Yeah, I'm actually going to put these two in the back of the notebook here in the pocket because we don't need them this week. So we'll get back. We'll add those later on in the month. So let's look at what we budgeted and what we actually spent in each of these variable categories. Okay, so for food, remember this is now food and house combined. We're budgeting $200 a week for those categories. We actually spent $237, which means we were above budget by $37. I do my negative numbers in brackets. For gas, we budgeted $30. We spent $40. So we were above budget by $10. This is not a very good start, you guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, miscellaneous. So I upped this category a lot this week to cover expenses to have our house guests here and for David's birthday. So I upped that to $750, and we ended up spending $626. So $750 minus $626. So we were actually positive $124 in that category. Well, that's nice. That's going to help us out. For medical, we budgeted $50, but we didn't have any medical expenses this week. So that means we are positive $50 in that category as well. So I'm going to add all this up and see if the numbers work out. Okay, so if I take the budgeted amount and I subtract what we actually spent, it should give me the difference. And then I can add these together to see if they equal that amount, and then I'll know that all of my math is correct. So 1030 minus 903, that gives us a positive amount of 127. Okay, so we have negative 37 plus negative 10. So we're at negative 47 plus a positive 124. That brings us to a positive amount of 77 plus 50. Brings us to a positive amount of 127. Yay, my math was correct. Okay, here I put The difference, I add up the monthly total to see how we're doing throughout the month in each category. This first week was really easy because I just have to copy down the same amount from this column. Next week we add the monthly total to that column down there. So next week I'll do more math, but here I just have to write this amount over in this column. Okay, so as far as our variable expenses go, we are currently ahead of budget, or in a positive in the black at $127. So let's go back to the Budget by Paycheck workbook. Okay, for food and house, we budgeted $200, we spent $237. For gas, we budgeted $30, we spent $40. For miscellaneous, we budgeted $750, we spent $626. For medical, we budgeted $50, we didn't spend anything. And for spending money, this is part of my cash envelope sinking funds. This is a cash envelope. I'm just gonna write CE next to it so I remember that it's a cash envelope. So I took that money out of the bank. That was 100 here and 300 here. So I took 400 out of the bank, and that was in our spreadsheet. And I put that on the calendar. Yeah, I also put that on the calendar. Okay, so, and that was 100. So let me add all this up and see how much it was all together for our variable expenses. So that's 1,003. Okay, so we had 3,074. I'm going to take away 1,003. That leaves us with 2,071. Okay, let's bring that total up here to our sinking funds. And we spent, this was the actual amount that we spent in each category for a total of 300. That is accurate. I'm not going to go through and write all of that again. But, so we spent 300, so 2,071 minus 300 leaves us with 1,771. Okay, so 1,771. Okay, so that comes down here. Originally, when I did the budget, I was going to have 986, but that's because I counted my life in envelopes pay as 1,000 instead of 1,641, which was the actual difference up here. So 1771. So we're going to roll that over because we don't get paid again until July 20th. So we're going to roll that over and keep rolling it over as needed. So 1771 is getting rolled over. So that leaves us with 0. And that's what I like to do. I like to budget. I like to end with 0 for that week. So let's take a quick look at next week's budget. I thought we were going to roll over, I already set it all up, but I thought we were going to roll over 1627. Actually, we'll go over the actuals next week, but so next week, or this week, July 4th through the 10th, we have Disney Plus coming out, our city bill coming out, lawn care. I believe David will need to cut the lawn this week. And then we have our variable expenses, food and house, gas, miscellaneous, medical. We don't have any cash envelopes, and we don't have any sinking funds or extra debt. So this is how this week should go. We will do a check-in next week to see how it goes. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, will you please give it a thumbs up? And I will see you all again next time. Bye, everyone.